Hi guys, and welcome to Mom's Art Night. Tonight we are drawing buildings. You can draw your house, you can draw your church, you can draw a famous building in your city that you love. And drawing a building in this way makes a great thing to hang on your wall. You could draw the childhood home you grew up in. I've seen a lot of people have these hung in their houses. They make a great gift if you want to give someone like a gift when they first move in. So there's a lot of options you can do. There are multiple ways to do this project. So the first way, if you want to be really technical, is you can get a ruler and make sure all your lines are straight and correct and do it really properly architecturally. That's not the method that I prefer, but the method that I prefer is kind of more of a loose artistic way of drawing it. So to do that, there's also a few different ways you can do it. You can, if you're not comfortable with your drawing abilities, you can just print out a picture of the house or property that you want to draw, hold it up to a window, put your paper over it, trace around, and then add in the details that you choose, and then hang it on your wall. You can also just look at your house, go sit in your yard and look at your house, or look at a photograph that you've taken of your house and go ahead and draw it using first pencil and then going over it in pen. Some artists actually go right in with the pen and don't worry about whether they're making mistakes or not. So that's another option too if you really like that artistic, messier look. But I'm going to start with pencil and we'll dive in and I'll show you how it goes. So when I'm drawing this, one thing I really want to make sure to do is give it a foreground, front area, a middle area, and background, back area, because that is going to give your picture depth and add interest. So for the one that I'm going to draw, there are some mountains in the background, the house is in the middle ground, and there's like some grass and fencing in the front ground. So I'll just dive in and start with some of those mountains. I don't go all the way to the edge, just because in case I want to frame it or something, or just, I don't know, I like the way it looks when it's not perfectly to the edge. And these mountains aren't really going to be perfect, but that's on purpose. Kind of a hilly area here, and then the main plane on which the house is here in the front. And the house itself, and I'm not going to use a ruler. You can use a ruler if you want straight lines. I'm doing this on purpose, so don't get at me about those wonky lines. I like that look. There's an area with stones. We'll just do like some rough sketching, and then we can go in and choose which lines we want later. Put the corner in, and then this goes kind of back to there. So that goes about to there. Try to make it at least a little bit even. There's some more stones. Front of the house. There's a bit of an overhang here. We'll draw the center point. Sometimes it helps to just do a little bit of those measurements. Draw this center point coming down here, and there's still another little bit of overhang. And this goes up to about that. We want to make this line and this line parallel. So we'll just approximate it for now. And we can go in and, if we want, straighten those up later, but I don't actually want it to be perfect. And there's a window here, another little window outline. The more details you add, the better it will look. When you are adding in your pen, it helps to do lines of different strength. So some thick lines, some thin lines, and that'll just add some more interest and depth to your final piece. So once you are done filling in these black lines, you can go back in with your eraser and erase all the pencil marks, and then you can come back in with color, or you could even just leave it like this and hang it like that. If I was going to leave it black and white, I might have used multiple different kinds of pens to get those different line textures, but I'm going to come in with a little bit of color. I'll show you how that looks. Okay, so when I'm going in with color, I like to first test my colors, whether they're watercolor or pencil, see what they look like so I know which ones go well together and what it's going to look like when I put it on the paper. Okay, so I just want you to take a look at those last two photos and notice what a huge difference it makes to add this little bunch of rocks in the foreground. And what we did there was make sure to really clearly define that foreground and give it something bold to make the different layers of the picture pop out. And so if your picture is looking a little flat, or if you think it needs a little more detail, just add in something in either the foreground or middle ground or background, depending which you feel is the weakest or doesn't have kind of the most detail. The more you keep going with these, the better they look. I'm going to stop with this one because I think you get the idea of where we're going with this, but I hope you guys really enjoyed this project. Make sure to subscribe and click the ring bell button so you are notified of future tutorials. Thanks so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye.